Hi, it's Tina again, and this is part 3 of the series, the 3 things small business owners should know so they don't get ripped off by an online marketer or social media expert. And number 3 is about creating like or follower-based campaigns. This one is big, especially for Twitter and Facebook. I know that many online marketers' strategy is for you to have a lot of followers or a lot of likes. And while I guess that could be important, but I know a lot of people believe in the perception of looking big instead of being big. And I really like to deal more in the being and then in the looking. And what I mean by that is if you're not careful and you hire an internet marketer or a social media expert in order to, let's say you want 1,000 Twitter followers. Well, they could go out and just find you 1,000 Twitter followers, but that doesn't necessarily mean those people will ever become clients or prospects or even refer you to prospects. They just found people to follow your page. So I just want to make sure that that's not a strategy you're using. What you should do instead is you should understand who your target market is. And I'm sure you hear that all the time, whether it's from marketers or a business consultant, but you do need to understand who your client is. And basically, you need to find a way of interacting with that person and getting them to like your page. That is what I would suggest instead of just looking for anyone to follow or like you. Second thing I want to bring to your attention is you shouldn't just use an item to get a lot of followers. And what I mean by that is this. Sometimes we use gadgets and, gimmicks to get people to like our page. But just because I may want that gadget you have, doesn't mean that I am a prospect for your business or would even interact for your business. I just want the gadget you're giving away. And is that really what you want? So, because at the end of the day, you have all of these people, but they don't have an interest in doing business with you or even engaging with you. So make sure that you're utilizing some type of strategy or contest or something of value that is indicative of your business. If you're in cleaning, maybe it is, the reasons of keeping the air clean in your home. And because people want to know that, or, even someone with asthma, understanding that, the air quality is very important for your overall health. So making sure that you have, someone who's coming in and professionally cleaning like once every 2 weeks, how that can help someone that's asthmatic. You want something specific that's going to offer value, because guess what? Now you know that a person that clicks like or follow to get that information, they are a prospect of your business. So definitely be creative, and just make sure you're just not using gadgets to try to attract other people. And the third thing I want to tell you is use your page or your Twitter or whatever it is, social media that you're using. Use it and use it often. One of the things you don't want to happen is you don't want someone to like or follow you and then there is absolutely no interaction on your page. So you don't want to just send out marketing statuses. You want to make sure that there are ways that you're engaging your audience. And what I mean by that is sometimes ask questions. Talk about what's going on in the news, what's the latest trends, develop the conversation. If you walked into a networking event, would you just immediately say, I want you to buy my stuff? Or would you get to know the person, find out what's going on with them, share a little bit about yourself, and then slowly develop that relationship and then talk about your marketing and what it is you do? Well, that is a much better strategy because you're building the relationship. And I just know that you want to put your best foot forward and you don't want to make the simple mistakes. So that is what to do and what not to do when you're doing a follower or like-based campaign. And I hope that you take this information and you begin utilizing it in your business today. Again, I'm Tina, and I hope you've enjoyed this 3-part series on the 3 things a small business owner must know not to get ripped off by an online marketer or social media expert. Have a great day. Bye.